Welcome to your Daily Dose. My name is Robert. I am here with my friend Rachel today. Susan's having surgery right now. We wish her well. Rachel, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Robert?
I'm doing well, thanks. For those who haven't met Rachel before, she has been a friend of mine for a couple years and a fellow student at UNLV, where she's pursuing her bachelor's, looking to also graduate this December. It will be the degree will be in what now?
Interdisciplinary studies.
Right, which is very similar to mine being interdisciplinary health sciences. So we've been yes-anding each other over these past couple years. And Rachel is actively involved in the qualitative studies we're doing right now on one of my clinical trials. And Rachel, you just brought up an insight that I really, really enjoyed. I wonder if you could bring that forward again, what you just shared with me.
Yes. So I'm going to bring up the quote again.
Yeah.
So this quote that I just brought up with Robert says, "To conclude, I would say that the theater live performance is not therapeutic, but that the need to resort to the practice of theater reveals the deficiencies in both personal and social lives."
So, and my immediate reaction was that, okay, so theater, the practice of it reflects what's missing in our regular daily lives. That's basically it.
Yes, in a sense. Like we're missing community, social interactions, music, movement, a lot of things in our everyday lives, and we don't realize that until we come to these classes, until we embrace ourselves with what improv is capable of. When we come and when we immerse ourselves in this experience, we realize what we're missing.
Right. And that's so true because the this term in health sciences, homeostasis, has to do with normal, whatever we call normal is. Our body can normalize some pretty awful conditions in order to help us survive. It's a great survival technique. It's not a great quality of life technique, and yet it's within us to start calling even abusive situations sometimes normal, unless we're actively involved, like you just said, in a process that exposes us immersively into something that says, I didn't realize I could do that. I didn't realize I could feel that way. I didn't realize I could make someone else feel that way. And that can completely change our trajectory, right?
Yes. And in a sense, it's giving a gift to ourselves by allowing ourselves the freedom to explore what we're capable of.
I think that's exactly right. We are all, whether we mean to be or not, I think limiting in our lives, right? That maybe it's protection, maybe it's because the possibilities are so big we can get lost in them. Maybe it's practical. However, if we don't, balance that out with, like you say, some exposure to movement, to community, to socialization in ways we're not used to, unconditional positive regard, hearing yes and to the crazy things, we miss out on what's possible.
Exactly. And if we don't immerse ourselves in this sort of culture, we just completely miss out on these opportunities, like you said. Um, Imagine living like in this box your entire life, and you've never seen light. And then all of a sudden, somebody opens this little tiny portal in this box, and then suddenly your mind is like immersed with color. And then suddenly you don't see the world in black and white anymore. That's what improv has done for me. It's allowed me to see the world in a completely different light.
I absolutely love that. When you showed up at that ComedySportz workshop, this was 2.5 years ago. Was that your first exposure to improvisation?
So I had some prior exposure to improv like in high school, but it was just like very brief, like in classes. But that was my first like actual workshop session
Right.
that I've ever done. Like I had done like some brief games in high school, but it wasn't that much, and we jumped around a lot in high school
Mhm.
to like scene work and to performance, but we didn't focus a lot on the improvisation.
I think that's it. Improv, especially in theater, is commonly used as either a warm up or a vehicle to get somewhere else, as opposed to the destination. And I think that's what's really different about how we play it in Yes and exercise. We say, this is what it is. We're here to do this and be here together.
Exactly. And when we're here, we allow ourselves the opportunity to challenge what we're capable of. And when we challenge what we're capable of, we're able to like open our minds to the possibilities that are capable of unfolding.
And indeed they are. That's your 5 minutes. That's your daily dose. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you, Robert.